Saturday, the 19th of September 2020, 1:29. To Deepa, copy to Marcus. Dear Deepa, the only times you have chosen to speak to me since abducting my daughter over 1 month ago has been to ask me about money. Just twice in over 30 days, and both times about materialism. You had no problem at all speaking on the phone, no safety fears, normal conversation, etc. But only for this topic, money. These are the words this reflects on what evidently is important and meaningful to you. You have not called to discuss our marriage, my apparent breakdown, Sinea not having a child seat, etc., but only money, and only twice. You again said words in front of Sinea that I had a mental health problem, that I need to see a psychiatrist. You felt fine to say such words in front of Sinea, many times this week, no less. You feel no problem saying to Sinea her father is crazy and needs a doctor. Disagreeing with you and your lies and deceit and abduction of my child means to you that I have a mental health problem, that I have mental health problems, that I'm crazy mad. Quite a way with logic there. You said I had refused to speak to a psychiatrist. This is entirely untrue. There is no evidence of this at all, none. Well, I do not think I need to speak to such like. I have no problem in doing so whatsoever. For the record, you said you would organize it. 4. In terms of words, here is what I noted. You said this call. None of these words affect me anymore. You repeated a handful of times. So when you claim my words mean that you are unsafe, at the same time you say they have no effect on you. Please also remember your voice message about safety states that you don't feel unsafe for your physical safety at all. So there is no safety issues at all. A complete ruse for you to play out this strange game of yours. Again, I think you're very clever to choose such a word, one that cannot be evidenced, one that has huge emotional power, where other people project ideas onto it. I think it's important to remind you, this is 5, how many times you have said things like this. Sinea was just so relaxed and happy, and you saying, this is probably the best summer of my life. At the same time, you claim you are unsafe. Simply an untrue statement you are using to get resources for free from the state, money from my parents, ransom my daughter, and to torment me for no reason. 6. You continue to gaslight me with this claim that my family also thinks that I'm crazy and need medical intervention. I have no correspondence from them at all suggesting this. None whatsoever. I have spoken with my father and corresponded with my mother in the last day, and neither of them have suggested this, to my knowledge, have suggested such a concept before, not once. My father suggested that seeing you had not arranged a counsellor, that I should think about doing it, even if it delays finishing the works to the apartment. 7. It is important to remind you that you promised that you wouldn't take Sinea, that you might go to an Airbnb for a few days, but you had agreed and promised me that you wouldn't take Sinea, that you might, according to the bank statements, the day you said this to me was the day you paid over £100 to buy plane tickets to leave. You cannot stop lying and deceiving, it seems. What kind of person does this? Does this to their husband? Does this to their child? What would happen if the situation was reversed? If I did this? Deepa, you are not being led, influenced by God. You have very poor morals, very poor values, and thus goodness is currently missing from you. Anyone that can do what you have done to your daughter and to your husband is without God, without light, godless. You think you can play God by using my daughter as a weapon against me. You cannot. And you won't prevail with this. It is not possible. Light always prevails over darkness. Sinea deserves better than this. much, much better. She has done nothing to deserve this. Deepa, I want you to know peace. No running to the toilet to throw up at news stories. No diarrhea from letters from the gas company. No unexpected eruptions to Sanaya when you get an email from your sisters or your mum. I want you to know peace, total peace, a knowing that comes from when you know God has got your back. I want you to know it and to live the rest of your life with this feeling. You still have half of your life left. We are only halfway. Don't you want to know peace rather than live in turmoil and anxiety? You ought to consider the power of forgiveness, Deepa. Head to Canada and forgive your mother for what she did to you. You said yesterday that you wouldn't even forgive me, and I have done nothing but support you for 13 years through all your anxieties, massive debts, etc. So I can see that it seems difficult to forgive your mother. However, I continue to truly encourage you to do so. Forgiveness will transform your soul. Please, please stop rejecting the idea of forgiveness. At least take time to consider it. I think you can see the power in it if you take time to consider it. If you want to continue with your misadventure, please release my daughter and return her to her father. We will wait for you. Do what you need to do, but please stop using Sanaya. She is much better off with her father, and statistics show children, particularly girls, do much better with their fathers. Around 20% better, if not more. I know you know this. You know you would have wanted to be with your father any day of the week rather than your mother. Please think about this. Please. Please do the right thing and release Sanaya. She deserves to be safe, free and flourishing with her father. Enough now, Deepa, enough. Return Sanaya to Lourdes and then go to Canada for a week or so. Please. Kisses.